You're invited to learn how credit, real estate, entrepreneurship, assets, and mindset are essential to helping you achieve the American dream. Please join your host, Hyacinth Henderson, for today's episode.
Welcome back. Happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, June 6, 2020. We are still here. It's another day in this number. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, congratulations. You made it. You still have purpose, and hopefully you have passion, and there's a reason why you're here, and we're going to figure that out, right? So you're listening to the American Cream Radio Show. I'm your host, Hyacinth Henderson. The American Cream Radio Show is a financial educational radio show. We talk money, financial education, but we don't do it in a conventional or traditional way. We do it in a way that is really designed to get you to thinking, to get you to moving, and to get you to taking action so that you can create the life of your dreams on your terms with CREAM. And CREAM stands for credit, real estate, entrepreneurship, assets, and mindset. It's so important for you to get that and get it good, that we are creating life on our terms instead of chasing someone else's dream, right? And what a better time than now to talk about it, right? So if you've been a loyal listener, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. You may have heard me for the past few weeks refer to this period of time as a transitionary period. And every time I said this is a transitionary period, and first we started with the pandemic, with the COVID-19, right? But every time I said that, I was like, oh, just don't get caught up. This is a transitionary period. And I was like, Hyacinth, self said to self, I talk to myself a lot, right? I do these voiceovers in my head. Self said to self, what do you mean transitionary? Like, why that word? Why not transformational? Why, what about another word? And so, self was like, nope, that's the word that's there. We're going to rock with that one. And so I've been saying it for the past few weeks. And now as we have transitioned, our focus has transitioned from COVID-19 and face mask and all those things, and being out of work and work from home and all these things. Now we've transitioned to the people are saying, you know what, enough is enough. We're still dealing with race inequalities. We're still dealing with racism. We're still dealing with issues that we've been dealing with for over 400 years. And we are transitioning out of that space. And we're going to transition out of that space whether you like it or not. And we're going to transition out of that space in a number of ways because the time has never been more important to do that than now. And so when I think about that, I'm just like, whoa, yeah, we've been transitioning. We have absolutely been transitioning. So if you have been living under a rock, 2020 has been a year. It has been a year, and I don't want to say, very careful of words. I don't want to say it's been a crazy year or it's been a bad year and things like that. It's been a very necessary year, right? So we started, as with some of the things that were designed to wake us up. Were designed to wake us up and get us to understand that life as we know it needed to change. And if you listen to the past shows, you've heard me say it is not going to be back. We're not going back to normal. And I know many of us did not imagine that this new normal would involve some of the things that's going on now. Yet here we are. So transition means the process or period of changing from one state or condition to another. I want you to sit with that. I don't want that to go over your head. We are in a transitionary period. And I want to tell you that we're going to be in a transitionary period for a few more months, a few more mango seasons. I would say it's June. We definitely got the rest of 2020 to be doing some transitions. I don't know how it's going to look, right? I don't know what that's going to look like. But I will tell you this is stay ready and stay open, because we are in a transitionary period and we will be here for a while. And it's okay. It's all good. Long as you're here, then you got to figure out something. And I find it so interesting that the last few shows that I've done have been shows where I have been laying out the groundwork. We've been talking about personal mission statements. We've been talking about personal visions. We've been talking about how to set up a business. We've been talking about businesses that matter, all those things. So if you have not listened to the past episodes of The American Cream, I want you to go to my YouTube channel and check them out, particularly from April 25th forward, because I believe that I was preparing you for this moment. Now, So as we talk about the transitionary period and phase that we're in, and we start to realize that there is so much going on, like, wow, there is so much going on. You can literally find yourself waking up, and then before you know it, you get up and you get into your routine. And by the time the day is over, you have not been productive, right? It's like, dag, it's 5 o'clock already. It's 6 o'clock already. And what did you do? What did you check off of your things to do list? And I get it. There's so many things that are vying for your attention. There's so many things that are going on. You know, you got the news, you got social media, you have the riots, the marches, the protests, the peaceful protests. You have the cries for help. You have the arrests. You have all these things that are going on. And then you have, hey, you got to wear a mask. Don't forget your hand sanitizer. I don't know about y'all, but this mask thing, I mean, listen, I be forgetting about it. And I always keep a mask or two in my purse. But it's a very interesting space to be in. And it's just one of those things that it's like, wow, okay, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. Every time I get ready to walk into an establishment and I don't have my mask on, and I get to the door and I see the sign and it's like, okay, you can't come in here without a mask. So I go in my pocketbook, right? Go in my pocketbook and I'm digging around and I pull out the mask. And in that moment, I'm putting it on and I'm like, you know, I feel like we playing cops and robbers here. Like, what's going on? I'm masking up to go in these people's store. But, you know, I come back to 2020 Hyacinth. No, you're just going in to get what you need to get out of there. But the point is, things are different. Things are changing. There's a lot going on. And our productivity can be, and for a lot of people, our productivity has been down. And so I started thinking, I'm like, gosh, you know, what's the message that we need to talk about right now? Because I believe in not just sharing the message that I want to share. I believe in sharing the message that you need to hear or that the collective needs to hear during this time and space. And it has to be relevant. It can't be, you know, I can't just be talking to you about some foolishness that's not relevant. So the message that was laid upon my heart, right, was time management. And how to reclaim your time, because everything that we have been doing, everything that we have been preparing for up until this point can be washed away if we don't manage our time. And I know we got a lot of external stimulation. We got a lot of things going on, and I'm not suggesting that we are disconnected from what is going on, but I am suggesting, just as I suggested when COVID first came around, you take assessment, you know what's going on, and then you handle your business. And so as we know that we are in a transitionary period and a lot of the old is being washed away, look at the corporations, look at the government, look at all the stuff, you know, when you see, dang, they going out of business, dag, they filed for bankruptcy, dang, they're closing, we can't do this anymore. That's your indicator that it's time for you to step up. Like, don't feel bad for them. Everybody at their season. We don't have time for no pity parties over here at the American Cream. Everybody has their season. So yes, you know, things are happening. People are, businesses, corporations, they're coming down. That means it's your time to shine. And I don't want you to lose sight of that, because we can get so caught up in watching the news and reporting the news that we're not handling our business. Like, we're focused on everybody else's business. And so this is where time management comes in. Okay, so grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. If you're driving, don't grab a pen and piece of paper. I want you to keep both hands on the steering wheel. And this will be up on my YouTube. I just sent 5 weeks of shows to my YouTube guy yesterday. So I will slide this one in. This one will probably be up next week. So if you can't take notes, run the tape back, right? All right, so time management. A couple months ago, I had someone tell me, Hyacinth, you act like your time is more valuable than anyone else's time. And at first I kind of was like, you know, I'm always doing self-reflection. At first I was like, do I act like that? Dang, am I being inconsiderate of other people's time? And then I started realizing the stuff that they be doing. And the person who said that to me want me to WhatsApp all day and just talk about foolishness. And I was like, no. I maybe I do act like that, or maybe you're perceiving it that way. And you're probably perceiving it that way because you don't value your time the way I value my time. And so I want you to get it through your head. I'm sharing that story because I want you to understand that as you start to manage your time effectively, people are going to have to manage their expectations of you. And it's going to be okay. Like, it's really going to be okay. I'm not mad or I'm not angry. You're going to have to do that disclaimer, like in the beginning, like, listen, I'm not mad or angry, but just know, like, I'm doing this. As you start to manage your time, people are going to have to manage their expectations, because time, while you have breath in your lungs, time is more valuable, more important than money. Time is more valuable and more important than money. Do you know why? Because if you spend all your money and you still have more time, you can make that money back, right? So we don't focus on the money. This is why I say time is more important. What you do with your time is going to determine how much money comes into your existence, how much money you align with, how much money you attract, how much money you make. And how do you make money? By creating. So your time, you have got to get a handle on your time. And it's going to look like saying no. It's going to look like not returning somebody's calls or answering somebody's text messages. It's going to look like that. And you, of all people, have to be okay with that. Because if you aren't okay with that, you'll spend so much time, again, explaining to people why you can't do the foolish things that they want you to do. I don't have to explain it to you. No. Just no, I just can't. I thank you so much. I would love to, but I can't. And no, I can't respond to all your text messages in your WhatsApp messages. I can't. So as I reflected, I was like, okay, you know what? I do act like my time is more, because I manage my time well. And that's where I want you to be. And I really want you to be there, because all the stuff that we've been talking about you starting your business. You've been talking about you perfecting your craft. We've been talking about you learning foreign languages. We've been talking about you taking classes, you sharpening your tools. And you cannot sharpen your tools. You cannot upgrade to the next level by doing the same things. There's 24 hours in a day. So when people say to me, they don't have enough time, I'm like, well, how much time did you spend scrolling on the internet? How much time did you spend texting back and forth? I want you to look at the end of your day. I want you to look at your phone and see how many text messages you responded to. How many times did you text? So yeah, if you want to achieve a massive amount of success, you're going to have to take drastic changes. Every new level requires a new you. You can't do the same stuff that you were doing last month. If you want to go to the new level, if you want to go to a new level, you're going to have to be reborn again. You're going to have to come into a new person. People should be telling you change. Yo, you changed. Okay, thank you. You changed. I did. I had to change, because as I went to this next level, I had to change my routine. And a big part of changing your routine is time management. The first thing that I want you to do for your time management is to, number one, make a list, your things to do list the night before. That's a game changer. Make your things to do list the night before. Don't wait until you like dog tired, like, oh my God, you're so exhausted and I'm just going to scribble some stuff down. Whatever time you eat dinner or whatever it is, pick some time, right? Again, for you to make your things to do list the day before, the night before. It may be at the ending of your current day. So if it's Monday and you're preparing for Tuesday, you're going to make your things to do list Monday, maybe at 5, 6 o'clock, depending on what time you finish work, maybe 7 o'clock, whatever it is. The point is, don't do it when you're just exhausted. You're going to make your things to do list the night before the next morning, because as you start writing down everything that you need to accomplish the next day, it is going to program your subconscious mind. It is going to incentivize you to get your butt up in the morning. It's going to start planting those seeds that you can't stay up watching Love and Hip Hop all night tonight, because you have all of this to do tomorrow. This is why we make our things to do list the night before. It's huge. It's a game changer. If you just do that, if you only do that one step of making your things to do list the night before, you will start to see a difference and a change in your life. Because then you'll be like, listen, I can't sleep in until 8 o'clock. I can't sleep in until 9 o'clock. I got all this to do. And plus I said I was going to start working out again. So now I got to get up maybe an hour earlier so I can get a 30-minute workout in. Like, make your things to do list the night before. When you make your things to do list the night before, it's going to set you up for the next day. What is it going to set you up? Here's one of the things I just alluded to. It's going to tell you what time you got to get up in the morning. I'm going to tell you right now, If you are grown, if you have responsibilities, if you have dreams, goals, and aspirations, and you are sleeping past 8 a.m., you are hustling backwards. If it's 8 a.m. and you still sleep, you wrong. Really, if it's 7 a.m. and you still sleep, you wrong. If it's let's take that back to 7 a.m. If it's 7 a.m. and you're still asleep, you're doing something wrong. You are leaving valuable time on the table. You should be up well before 7 a.m. You really should be up before the sun rises. You should be up to see the sunrise. And if you're not, let's figure out some ways to change that. And so what does that do? By waking up earlier, you allow yourself the time, here we go with that word again, that T word, to command and direct your day. Because when you sleep in the 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock, and you got to be somewhere at 10 o'clock, you're getting up and you're rushing. So that energy that you're waking up with is already, look at the clock, then you know you got to check your phone first. Check your phone, and then it's like, okay, I'm rushing. You don't have an opportunity to be in the moment. So the second thing is you need to wake up earlier. You're going to give yourself an extra amount of time at more productivity by just waking up earlier. Get up. You shouldn't be sleep past 7 a.m. If you sleep past 7 a.m., you hustling backwards. That's broke people behavior. It's broke people behavior. I'm sorry. Somebody had to tell you. Your wife, your kids, somebody, they've been looking at you like, dang, she still asleep. He still asleep. So it's me. Sleeping past 7 a.m. is broke people behavior. You got to get up. And so what's the next thing that you do to manage your time? Get up and meditate. Get up and meditate, get up and pray, get up and stretch, get up and exercise. Create your morning routine of no less than 30 minutes or more, depending on what time you get up. You know what you need. But of no less than 30 minutes where you get up and you just make time to get your mind right. You get up and you're like, okay, I'm not going to be rushing. I'm not going to start my day off with the rushed energy. I'm going to actually sit down and breathe. I'm going to take 3 deep breaths. I'm going to do 5 sun salutations. That's yoga talk. Google that, sun salutations. I'm going to do 5 sun salutations. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to have some warm lemon water, warm key lime water. I'm going to take a ginger shot. I may write 3 lines in my journal. I may pray, meditate. We're going to do all that. And you're going to set the vibration for your day. Okay, so after you get up, you started your things to do list the day before. So now you get up, you get your head in the game. You set the tone. Your mood is right. You're feeling great. Get you some breakfast, break fast the best way you know how. And really, it should not be with hot food. It should be with fruits and vegetables before 12, right? Well, that's a conversation for a different day. And then after you get into that, then you can go ahead and say, all right, get to the office. For some of us, that's working from home. Some of us, that's driving. And now you're not angry and having road rage in traffic because you're not rushing. You're like, oh, wow, I can just walk out of the door and actually stroll without telling the person behind me. And then when you get there, you pull out your things to do list. As you sit at your desk, you pull out your things to do list. That cuts down on the time that you got to figure out, well, what am I going to do first? You already created your things to do list. You know exactly what it is that you're going to do. And what you're going to do first is your MITs, your most important task. MITs, your MITs. Handle those MITs first, most important task. A lot of time we want to do the trivial things, right? Nope. We're going to do the most important task. And for some people, the most important task may be checking your email and responding to emails that you didn't respond to yesterday. You got to figure that out. But as you create your things to do list, then I want you to go down and put a little asterisk, put some stars next to it. These are the MITs. These are the things that I absolutely have to get done right now, today. The first half of my day, I'm focusing on this. Oh, and here's another one. That phone, you're going to have to put that phone down. Right. That phone, no text messages. Tell all the people who love you, all the people who need you, all the people who are going to call you after they call 911, call your office. Call your office. Call your work number. And if you're working from home now, then you put your phone on do not disturb and put those people on the VIP list. On iPhone, it's I think it's your favorites. And so what that means is when you put your phone on do not disturb, everybody else who's calling to say, hey girl, did you see what's on CNN? They can't get through. But maybe your spouse, your mate, your children, if they're on the favorites list, they can get through. And you've already explained to them that during the day, I don't want to hear about, what your mama them did. While I'm working, I don't want to hear about what you have for lunch. We're going to save that to after work. So we're going to set the tone and set the standard that if you're calling me, if you're contacting me during the day and you're on my favorites list, it is an emergency. Before you've called me, you've called 911. And you're letting me know, hey, I called 911, they're on the way. And by the way, I'm letting you know XYZ. Or this is an important decision. Like I need to know, should I use this plumber for $5,000 or do you have somebody cheaper? Those are the types of calls that you need to only take during the day. But you have to set that precedence because a lot of time is being spent looking at our cell phones, responding to text messages. If you know me, there's a delay when I'm responding to your message. You can attest to that. Yes, there is. It's not that I don't love you. It's that I love my time. I'm managing my time appropriately. I am managing my time appropriately. And I had to realize that if I'm responding to you, I'm saying yes to you more than I'm saying yes to the task that I have to complete. And so I don't want nobody else to control my time. I don't want to just have to be interrupted because you text me. Now I must drop what I'm doing and respond to your text message. You can implement these same things in your life. It's a game changer. So you're letting everybody know, hey, during the day, we ain't talking about foolishness. I don't know. I think I'm supposed to take a commercial break, but I guess we're going to rock through the commercial break. We're ready. Okay. All right. We'll be right back after the hour. You're listening to the American Cream radio show. Stand by.
You know, Linda, people have worked very hard all their entire lives to save what they thought was enough for retirement.
Robert, what is enough? Especially in today's volatile stock market, so many people are concerned that they just may not have enough to retire. So what can they do?
You know, all it really takes is sitting down with someone at the Henderson Financial Group to first educate you and then discuss your personal goals and objectives and working out a plan to help you succeed.
I agree. I'm Linda V. Harris, Vice President of the Henderson Financial Group and a retirement planning specialist.
And I'm Robert Henderson Jr., Certified Financial Planner, the President of the Henderson Financial Group.
What I love about us at the Henderson Financial Group, Robert, is we've helped so many people just like you, just like our listening audience, prepare for a successful and prosperous retirement.
Don't wait. Call our office today at 305-825-1444, and you'll be glad you did. Hi, I'm Robert Henderson Jr., Certified Financial Planner, President of the Henderson Financial Group. And I want to ask a question. Are you planning on retiring soon?
You know, Robert, a lot of people work their entire lives with that goal in mind. And if you're planning on retiring, especially within the next 3 years, you absolutely have to give us a call at the Henderson Financial Group. We have so many retirement strategies, especially as an independent financial planning firm that will fit your specific retirement goals and objectives.
And I'm glad you said that, because retirement planning is totally different from investment planning. And you know, Linda, a lot of people get that mixed up, because most people, when they're getting ready to retire, they probably just put their money with some retirement firm, with some investment house, and they just put the money there and they want to make it grow. But that's not retirement planning. You know, when you come to us, we help you decide and we educate you on whether you should take a lump sum distribution or receive scheduled monthly payments.
Absolutely. We can give you the tools and the information to help you navigate and make the best choices for you and your family specifically.
So remember, retirement planning is totally different from investment planning. If you need more information, please call us at the Henderson Financial Group. Call today at 305-825-1444.
Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. You're listening to the American Cream radio show. We are talking about time management. First of all, thank you for being here. I don't know if I said that earlier. I think I just jumped right into it. So thank you, new listeners. Thank you, seasoned listeners. Thank all y'all. Just thank you so much for being here. One of our longtime listeners and supporters and clients and just basically family at this point, Mrs. Redhead, texted me. Shout out to Mrs. Redhead, always tuning in. I appreciate you. And she texted me and she said, I was taught early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm gonna start chanting that around my house. I'm a lover of chants. Let me say that again. Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. It's true. It is very true. True, true, true. Okay, so love that. We're talking about time management. I still hear the music. I guess it's gonna fade away soon. It's going out. Okay. All right, good. All right. So yeah, we're talking about time management because we're in a transitionary period, and as we're transitioning, we have to be ready because we're going from one period, one state to another. And we don't want to get caught up in just looking at what's going on. We're not reporters. Like we don't work for CNN and the news and stuff. We don't want to just get caught up in reporting what the happenings to all of our friends and family members. And we look up and we don't transition and we're just stuck. We're stuck in the middle of nowhere because we didn't do what we needed to do. And so one of the things we got to focus on is our time management. Talked about text messaging, controlling your time, demanding your time, being okay with being in control of your time, going to bed early, waking up early. And for some people, going to bed early and waking up early, I have a cycle. Many days I operate off of 3 to 4 hours of sleep, right? My good friend Kim, shout out to Kim. She'll text me and communicate with me all through the night because she's like, I know you don't sleep. But at some point, you have to figure out what works for you. The point is, you got to make your things to-do list the night before, the day before, the evening before. Wake up in the morning, create a routine, get into it the next morning, start off with meditation, prayer, command your day, and then jump into your MITs, your most important tasks. Now, as we start talking about these tasks, we are going to set a time limit for each task. Yes, we are. We are going to set a time limit for each task because it's going to trick us and let us know, listen, I know this is on the list, but you can't be doing this for 2 hours. Like, you can't be doing this one thing for 2 hours and then expect to only work 6 or 7 hours in a day. And then say, oops, I didn't have enough time to get it done. We're now on summer break, but I was homeschooling my third grader because of, COVID and everything that was going on. So I had to find that I had to tell this joker, okay, you got 10 minutes to do this, because I would give him something to do and then I would do what I'm doing. And I'd come back and I'm like, wait a minute, you still doing that? I would say, okay, let me set a timer so that you can hear the timer when it goes off and you have 10 minutes to do this. Now, all of a sudden, something that was taking him 30 or 45 minutes, when I set a timer and I announced to him that I was setting the timer and he had 10 minutes to do it, his goal then became to finish before the timer even rang. I was like, oh, so you've been playing me. Okay, all right, I got you, buddy. Now that I know. But since we aren't kids, we aren't playing anybody but ourselves. So when we don't set a time limit for the task that we have to do, we'll look up doing something that could have been done, something that could have been done in 30 minutes. We've been doing it all day, right? So set a time limit for each task, very important. And if you have not finished that task within that time limit, still go on to the next task. And then at the end of the day, you're going to take assessment and then you're going to decide, hey, do I get to leave work at 5 o'clock or do I need to go back to this task that must be done today? Now you see why I say you can't be texting and on social media. You got to command your day, put your phone on, do not disturb. You got to do all that because you have a list of things that you have to do. You know the most important tasks that you have to do, and you've allocated a time limit to doing them. And then at the end of your day, as you prepare for the next day, you're going to look and see, what did I check off? If you've accomplished everything on your things to do list, that's fantastic. If you have not, then you have some decisions to make. Am I gonna get to watch what shows do people watch? I already said Love and Hip Hop. What else do people watch? Is Survivor still on? Am I gonna get to watch Survivor? Maybe that's a show. Whatever the show is, am I gonna get to watch my favorite show tonight? Or am I gonna be doing this work? Because I can't carry it over to the next day because I already have other things to do tomorrow. See how that works? We already talked about the to-do list. Plan ahead the night before, create a morning routine, delegate, and outsource. This is one of my favorites. If you know me, you've heard me say that's not the best use of my time. That is not the best use of my time. I want you to take that on too as well. Adopt that. Ask yourself, is that the best use of my time? Sure, I could cut my lawn if I wanted to. I could. We could do anything that we wanted to. We figure it out. Get on YouTube nowadays, figure out how to do it. But is it the best use of my time? Is it the best use of my time to cut my lawn? Is it the best use of my time to order food for an event that we're having? Or can I delegate that task out? Is it the best use of my time to pull the list for birthday cards at my office for all the clients, to go down the list and see who gets a birthday card? Or can I delegate that task out? What is the best use of your time? And that's something that I find that we have a problem with delegating. When I say we, I'm talking about all of us, because we want to retain control. We want to retain control because somehow we feel that if we're doing it, then it's going to get done properly. That's the only way that it can get done properly. And we also feel that can't nobody do it like we do it. And here's the thing. If you have people around you and they can't do it in an effective way, then you need new people around you, right? Because if I have to do your job, then I don't need you here. So we have to be okay with delegating. We have to get out of that egoic space of I'm the only one that can do it. And there's going to be a learning curve because they're not you. They're not going to do it like you. They're going to do it like them, but are they going to do it effectively? And that's a question that we're going to have to ask ourselves. What can be delegated? What can be outsourced? What is the best use of your time? Sure, I can edit my radio show and convert them to YouTube. Sure, I could do that. There's an app for that. Is that the best use of my time? Or is it worth it for me to pay my Fiverr guy, shout out to Adrian, $10 an episode? You handle that for me. I email it to you. Next thing I know, it's done. With something that probably takes him 10 minutes, would take me 30 minutes, an hour, plus the time that I would have to take to learn it. So you have to think about that in time management, and really delegating and outsourcing is really a conversation that you need to have with yourself first. It's not about the other person. It's about you and your ego. And then it's about you accepting and owning that they're going to do it in their own way as long as the ball moves down the field. Sure, you may have moved the ball down the field another way. You may have rolled the ball down the field. You may have kicked the ball down the field. If they decide to punt the ball down the field and it still gets down the field, then the mission is accomplished. So don't get caught up in the semantics of things when you're delegating and when you're outsourcing. This is the problem. This is the solution. This is what needs to be done. And this is the time frame that it needs to be done. And this is what I need you to do. You handle the rest. Delegating and outsourcing is going to save you. And if you have a problem with that, always ask yourself, what's the best use of my time? Could my time be spent doing other things that are going to increase the bottom line? Could my time be spent in other ways that is going to yield a bigger output? All right, now I got you up early. I got you making out your things to do list. I got you ignoring calls. I got you off social media. Here's another hack. Social media. Most phones, I have an iPhone. I don't know about y'all Androids, but iPhone allows you to put time limits on applications. Yes, it does. So that means whatever applications, and they also give you a weekly report, a screen report. It gives you a screen report and it tells you where you are using most of your time on your screen. What app you're doing, if it's email, if it's YouTube, if it's the internet, if it's Instagram, it'll tell you, it'll give you a weekly report. And you can go in before the end of the week and look at it and say, hey, you're spending 5 hours a day on Instagram. Did you know that? Well, I didn't know that because I was just opening it up every time, I was at a red light. Well, it equates to 5 hours a day. And so what you can then do is go in and set limits. And you can say, you know what? I'm going to set a limit for 1 hour a day for my social media. And when you are about to reach the limit, you will get a notification. You got 5 minutes left. You got 5 minutes left for your social media. You got 5 minutes left to be in these emails or 5 minutes left to be in this text message. Whatever it is, explore it and set the limits. Because sometimes we got to save ourselves from ourselves, right? Nobody ain't going to save us. You got to do you. You got to help you be a better person. So setting limits on your phone, setting screen time limits is a big, big, big one. As you do all that, you got to schedule some buffer time as well. Buffer time is especially important for those of us who exchange energy with other people, either by seeing them in person, either by seeing them with video chat, either by talking to them on the phone. If you exchange energy with other people where you're scheduling appointments, you must set buffer time. When I was new to this and not true to this, I would look at my calendar and say, wait, okay, this time slot is available, I could put something there. I almost ran myself ragged. I had to have a conversation with myself and self to self. Listen, just because the time is available on the calendar does not mean that you are available. As you are exchanging energy with people, do not schedule appointments back to back. Take some time just so that you can breathe. You might got to blow your nose. Like, I got to blow my nose. This is my blow my nose time. I don't schedule back to back appointments. I just can't. I got to decompress. I got to shake that energy off. Maybe you sage and Palo Santo in between. Those are smudging tools. That's something for you to Google. Maybe you just meditate. Maybe you take notes. But it's important for you to schedule some buffer time in between, because as we are increasing our output, we want to make sure that our internal, our energy is where it needs to be, because that's going to help us increase our output. Okay, so schedule buffer time. Here's a big one. Here's another one I'm big on: calendar. If it's not on my calendar, oh my gosh. Let me tell you, I tried that. Since we've been in quarantine, every Friday night I've been on Facebook Live at 7 o'clock with a group of fabulous ladies, Diana George and Dee Bowden. Every Friday night at 7 o'clock. And so we've been doing Facebook Lives. And at first I was like, I'm going to put it in my calendar. But we've been on social distancing and quarantine. I wasn't going anywhere. So I didn't put it in my calendar. I'm just like, oh, okay, at 7 o'clock I'm still going to be at the office. I'll just whip out the laptop and get on Facebook Live. Well, yesterday I had scheduled another 7 o'clock because outside is open again. And actually next Friday I have another 7 o'clock scheduled. I'm going to have to push that down. And when I looked up, I'm like, Dad, Hyacinth, how could you do this? I said, oh, you never put it in your calendar. You never scheduled the Friday Facebook Lives. We call them weekly wind downs. I never scheduled them or calendared them because I wasn't going anywhere. And so I'm sharing that story to let you know how important it is, or how much I rely on my calendar. Where am I supposed to be? Let me pull out my calendar and see what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I schedule my exercise time. I schedule everything. Put it on the calendar. If it's not on the calendar, 99.9% of the time it's not getting done. And then you will graduate to creating different types of calendar. I got a personal calendar. I got a work calendar. I got a Hyacinth calendar. I got a task calendar. Things that I need to follow up on, they go on the task calendar. Because yes, we have other reminders and we have sticky notes, but you know it's not going to hurt to have an extra reminder, that calendar reminder. So get a calendar, an online calendar. I love digital calendars. I love online calendars. I also have physical calendars as well. I also have sticky notes everywhere. But the point is, you must schedule and you must calendar it. That's how ferocious you must be with your time management. Because if not, it'll slip away. Next week, I'm going to show you how to do a time audit. So right now, you may be like, some of you may be agreeing. You may be like, you know, Hyacinth, you might be right. But by next week, and I show you how to do that time audit, you're going to be like, oh, shoot, you were really right. I didn't realize I was wasting all that time. As a matter of fact, if you have iPhone and you go to that report that shows you your screen time and you see how much screen time you're spending in certain apps, that's going to be an eye-opener right then in itself. So this time thing, you got to get it. You got to get it right. 80-20 rule. 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. Can you think about that? Can you believe that? 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. And that is really and truly how it should be. It shouldn't be that you are taking 80% of action to only yield 20% of results. So when you think about it, like, listen, 80% of my results come from 20% of my actions, and then you understand why it's important for you to focus on the most important things, tasks. Now it's important for you to focus on that. It's almost like if you're cooking a pot roast or putting something in the crock pot, right? So there's a little preparation that comes with that. If you're making a roast and you're putting it in the pressure cooker or the slow cooker, you got to peel the carrots and the potatoes and do all that. You got to spend a little time to prepare that. But you prepare it and you put it in the pot and you set it for 7 hours, 6 hours. It's been a long time since I cooked a pot roast because I'm not married anymore and I don't eat meat. But it's been a long time since I've done that. But I would have to prepare so that when I got home, the food was ready. Could you imagine if I just came home from work and was like, all right, we just gonna make this rice and this broccoli. And I didn't spend the 20% of the time that it took for me to prepare the pot roast and put in the crock pot. That's 80% of the meal. The protein for some of us is 80% of the meal. That's the meat of the meal. So think about that in your daily life, in the things that you're doing. What are you doing that are going to yield the most results? Let me focus my time on that first. And if I focus my time on that, then I'm delegating other things for other people to do. Because I realize that 80% of my results come from 20% of the things that I do. How fantastic is that? You don't even got to do a lot of stuff. You don't have to be over here, over there, and everywhere. You don't have to be running like a chicken with your head cut off. You can literally focus on 20% and get a return of 80%. That is golden. Golden, golden, golden. All right. Analysis paralysis. Lose it. Analysis paralysis is the act of overanalyzing so much so that you're paralyzed from taking action. Analysis paralysis. Well, what if it doesn't work out? Should I do it like this? What if I do it like that? I can't make a decision. This and this. Oh, what is it right? Is it the best? Listen, that analysis paralysis will keep you stuck. One of the qualities of being a leader is making a decision. You got to make a decision. You have to make a decision. And so here's what happens when you make a decision. You make a decision and the outcome is what you anticipated it to be, and great, you win. You make a decision and the outcome is not what you anticipated it to be, and so then you learn. And so when you learn, I love that learning space. I love that, dang, I thought it was going to work out this way, but now let me figure out why it didn't. So the next time I make the decision, it can work. That learning space is so golden because it leaves you room to build from. So you still win. But you have to make a decision. So analysis paralysis, that's something that you got to absolutely get rid of. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard because we want to be the best and we want to put our best forward. And I'm not telling you not to try. So yes, you try, but you make a decision because what you deem as not good enough, someone has been waiting on you to share. Someone has been waiting on you to complete that task. Someone has been waiting on you to send that email. Someone has been waiting on you to start that podcast. Someone has been waiting on you to start that business, and you're overanalyzing it. Get out of the analysis paralysis. Realize that when you make a decision, it's a win-win either way. It's either an immediate win or it's a win down the road. Just say no. That's another tip. Just say no. You got to be okay with saying no. You got to be okay with saying no and not explaining yourself. And you don't have to be angry about it. No is a nice word. We teach, from a young age, we teach little humans, don't say no. No, don't say no. You telling them no, but you telling them don't say no. No is a nice word. I want you to say no with a smile. No, I can't. Nah, no, can't do it. Sorry. Thank you. Not sorry, but thank you, but no thank you. Me and my dad had a conversation a few weeks ago about not apologizing, about saying, instead of saying, sorry, I'm late, saying, thank you for waiting. Or they're saying, instead of saying, sorry, I'm just getting back to your email, saying, thank you for your patience or something like that. And he thought I was absolutely crazy. We do a lot of these. I'm laughing because I'm picturing his face, him looking at me. I'm like, listen. And so I went to the internet and I typed in saying thank you instead of sorry. And pages of Google results came up. And he was like, y'all are crazy. But really and truly, I'm sharing that with you because when you say sorry, you feel like you've done something wrong. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to say sorry, but I can't. We're going to say thank you for the invite. Thank you for thinking of me, but I have a prior obligation. Procrastinate on purpose. That's a book. Dang, I don't remember who wrote the book. I read that book many years ago. He talks about that in this book, Procrastinate on Purpose. It has a blue cover. Google it. Remember I told you guys I don't really remember the authors because it don't really matter to me. I'm not buying a book because this person wrote it. I'm buying a book because it resonates with me. So Procrastinate on Purpose, that's a book that you want to get. Look at that. It fits right into time management. It is available on Audible and physical copy. So really and truly just say no. You've got to say no because, listen, every time you say no, on the flip side, you're saying yes. So as you say no to, another project that doesn't align with your morals and your values and your goals, you're saying yes to ones that do. As you say no to hanging out late, you're saying yes to getting up early in the morning. As you say no to doing the things that don't serve you, you're saying yes to doing the things that's going to forward your mission. So it's okay to say no, and don't apologize for it. Just say thank you. Now, don't be rude. Nope, can't do it. Just, no, thank you. Thank you so much for thinking of me, but just no. You've got to say that. And you have to say that with a smile. And so maybe you're the type of person that you want to have conversations. You're going to gather everybody around, your husband, wife, spouse, girlfriend, sugar daddy, sugar mama, whoever you got, your friends, all your group chat people. Maybe you're the type of person that you need to say, hey, I'm focused on this really big project and I'm making some changes. And I want you all to know that I love you so much. And I love you so much. And I love that you understand and you respect me. And I love that you want the best for me. And you're so excited for me and where I'm going in my life. You see how you talk? You did like that, right? I almost leaned over and whispered in your ear a little bit. Like, I love you so much. I know that you're so excited for me and the things that God has placed on my heart and where I'm destined to go. And I know that I have your full support, and I thank you for that. That's one of the things that I value most about our connection. It's one of the things that I value most about our friendship. And I have this really big project that I'm working on. And while I'm working on this project, it's going to require laser focus. I mean, it's so big. I know that you want to know about it, but I can't tell you about it right now because God gave me this vision and not you. And, I don't want to spoil it. I want you to be so proud of me when it's done. But I'm going to have to stay in a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this. And you know what, during the day, I don't answer text messages during the day anymore, but I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Notice I didn't say I'll get back to you after 5, because then after 5, while you're trying to decompress, now you got to respond to all these text messages because you don't tell these people you're going to get back to them after 5. Wait a minute. Nope. Wait a minute. We're not going to do that. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And you know my heart. You know that I love you. You know that I know that you love me too. And so this is a conversation that you may find yourself having, or maybe you don't have these conversations. The point is, you can say it, you can do it, and it doesn't have to be mean and nasty and malicious, but stick to your guns. Stick to the schedule, stick to the script, stick to the things that are going to benefit you, because again, we are in a transitionary period. Go back and listen to all the tapes, all the American Cream that are available on YouTube. As a matter of fact, my Fiverr guy messaged me just now and said, all your deliveries are ready. So by the time I take a nap, I will be putting some up on YouTube. But go back and run those and listen to that. We're in a transitionary period. Are you ready? Are you ready to be ready to go to the next level? Because the next level is here. Like, we're going anyway. Either you coming or not. And I don't know if I said it on the radio show, but the wealth gap is widening. The wealth gap is widening. It's getting bigger. Where are you going to stand on that? Are you going to stand on the side of, gosh, I got left behind? Or I'm doing something so that I can create my own reality, so that I can create my dream on my terms, so that I can create and command the future that I want to have? What are you doing for that? All right, so for the next, I think next week is going to be my last week on this station. My show and Mr. Henderson's show, we're moving to Facebook Live. Facebook Live. So Facebook is Hyacinth Henderson. I'll spell it for you. HYACINTH, Hyacinth Henderson. I have a page that has an orange background, and then I have my personal page. You want to make sure you like and or follow those pages, because that's where I'm going to be streaming starting June 20th. That's in 2 weeks. And guess what? You won't have to get up at 6 a.m. to hear the sound of my voice. Look at that. It's going to be at 9 a.m. So the Understanding Money Show will stream live from the Henderson Financial Group Facebook page. So go on and like those pages so that you can be kept in the loop. The Understanding Money Show will stream live from the Henderson Financial Group at 8 a.m. starting June 20th. June 20th at 8 a.m. we're going to be on Facebook Live. June 20th at 9 a.m. I'm going to be on Facebook Live with the American Cream. So make sure you go ahead and you connect so that you can be in the number and not left out. All right, so today we talked about time management. I'm going to run through them really quickly. Make your things to-do list the night before. Get up early if you're sleeping past 7 o'clock. Listen, you hustling backwards. You really should be up to see the sunrise. And what does that mean to me? Unless your body's used to it, you got to get into bed. Get up before the sunrise. Set a time limit for each task. Focus on your most important tasks. Delegate and outsource. Let go of the ego and the feeling that you're the only one that you can do it and can't nobody do it like you can do it. You're right. They can't do it like you can do it. They probably can do it better than you could do it. And that's okay. Because your goal is to accomplish the goal, not to get caught up in taking the credit. I did this and I'm the only one that could do it. Listen, you can't be a one-man band. That's not going to work. Schedule buffer time. Don't schedule those appointments back to back. Your mental health requires you to take a break in between exchanging energy with other people. Understand the 80-20 rule. Tape it to your forehead. 80% of the results come from 20% of the things that you do. When you understand that rule so good, you'll start realizing, dang, let me really focus in on the 20% of what I'm doing. How can I maximize these actions so that they yield the highest result? Lose analysis paralysis. Make a decision. Either way it goes, you win. You win immediately or you win down the road. After you learn, revisit, and then do it again. Just say no. No is one of those words that you're going to have to learn to say, because when you're saying no to someone, it's one thing, you're saying yes to another. When you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. When you go back and look at your goals and your mission statement and your personal vision, it's going to be easy for you to say no to certain things. It's going to be very easy because you see why it was important for you to do that work? Because you know what your mission is. So you know what you got to say no to. Don't be scared. Just say it. And don't forget to tell people that they love you so much. I know you love me. You love me and you want the best for me, and so do I. So that's why I'm doing this. And then it's like, oh, okay, good. All right, so the website, www.hendersonfinancialgroup.com, www.hyacinthhenderson.com. Facebook is Hyacinth Henderson. Facebook is thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. If you are old school and play by the old rules, then give us a call at 305-825-1444. And we'd love to talk to you. Stand up for something. Stand up for something. We are transitioning. We're entering a new condition, a new state of mind, a new state on the physical plane. And it's a beautiful thing. It's going to be a beautiful thing. It's beautiful now, and it's going to continue to be beautiful because the world needs change. And you got to stand up and ask yourself, what is it that I can do? What is it that I can do? What can you do? When you figure out what it is that you can do, then you're going to manage your time effectively. All right. Until next week, peeps, I am out. You have been listening to the American Cream Radio Show, where we talk about ways to redefine the American dream on your terms. And that's with credit, real estate, entrepreneurship, assets, and mindset. I'm your host, Hyacinth Henderson. It has been an absolute honor and a pleasure and an honor. And until next week, take care. Peace.